Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being a part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. And in this hour of our show, we'd like to talk about something that we've discussed on the air before. Something I care a lot about. And to counter all of the ridiculous AM talk shows out there that talk to the growing number of conservative and religious nutcakes around America, this hour I'm going to talk about something that is really going to piss them off, but any regular listener to my program knows that I'm not faking it when I say what I'm about to say. I'm not just saying this to get attention. It's something I've always said and always felt, and honestly, it's something I've done. And I've been very forthright about it. I've told you on the air in the past that I wouldn't be standing here today if it were not for the availability of abortion. Wouldn't be here. And my first wife, who got married to me, agreeing that we did not need to have children, and later changed her mind, been able to get me to go along with her plan to have kids, that was the first time I would have had a problem, although we did not have to have an abortion in that case. I just got out. I'm not going to name the women whose abortions I've paid for. There are 4 of them. At least one of them is called into Dean wanting to get on the air, but you know what? I've already aired my dirty laundry. I don't need to get any more specific about it, except to say there were 4 women who I either wrote a check for and got written confirmation of an abortion. In 2 of the 4 cases, I actually went along to the abortion clinic on the guise that I was really concerned about the welfare of these people, when in reality I was going to make sure the job got done. And boys, just a word of advice on this, if you're ever getting a woman to have an abortion, you can't tell a chick, I'm going with you to the abortion clinic to make sure you do it. You can't say that. You have to feign concern. Oh, I'll take you. If you do need a ride, I'll be there for you. I'll come with you. I'll hold your hand. I'll be waiting in the waiting room for you. You don't have to do anything. I'll come get you, take you down there, check you in, fill out the paperwork with you. I'll hand over my MasterCard or Visa, and then I will be there waiting for you when you come out to take you in for the old Egg McMuffin. By the way, I won't say who, but one of the 4 chicks who had abortions, that's where the Egg McMuffin comes from. One of them actually got the Egg McMuffin. Not long before she got the bad news. So I've memorialized it in the Hail Mary that we talk about on the air so much. Reality is, one time I feigned concern, took a girl to the abortion clinic, she got the abortion, I paid for it. And indeed, I took her to McDonald's for the Egg McMuffin. It was early in the morning. It was before 10:30 a.m. You'll notice, by the way, many of the Leykis students, they want to have that abortion over by 10:30 a.m. because they stopped serving the Egg McMuffin after that. I mean, if you want to get her a McGriddle, that's great because she'll plump up so much nobody else will touch her after you're gone. You know what I'm talking about. But to me, the Egg McMuffin is symbolic of the lack of caring. But that's what you have to do. You have to say, okay, I care. I'll be there for you. And in reality, what you're doing is you're going down there to make sure she doesn't change her mind or just take your money or say she got the abortion and then she didn't. No. You want to be there and make sure that the job gets done. But in each of the cases where I impregnated a woman, and by the way, in 3 out of the 4, I indeed was using a condom. Only the earliest and first one did I make a stupid mistake with somebody who claimed she was on birth control. And maybe she was, but it certainly didn't work. Had I not been careful and made sure I was having sex with women who would have abortions if they got pregnant, and had I not gotten them the abortions, or had I allowed them to talk me into changing my mind about this, I wouldn't be here today. I would have stopped right where my career was. I would have maybe not gone to school when I was going to school. I might have stayed in a day job when I was trying to, I was working a day job and trying to work my way into this business. I might have done what my dad did when he was trying to work his way up to become a sports writer. Got a low-level job at a newspaper in New York City. And then when my mother became pregnant with me, ultimately he had to quit and go work for the post office because it paid more money. And that kind of ended his quest to become a sports writer. That could have happened to me, and I was not going to allow that to happen. I am possessed. I knew that this is where I belonged. I belonged here. And I have known instinctively over the years that women are dream killers. And they'll do anything, including spending your bank account dry or having babies at inopportune moments, things like that, to keep you from getting ahead and to keep you around. It's the legal availability of abortion that made my life today possible. And I'm proud. And I've said so. Now, there are many of these Christian radio stations. I don't know if for a giggle you've ever tuned in and listened to these stations, where you have these women who call in, and they talk about how they had an abortion back when they were heathens, and now they regret it. And every year, what would have been the birthday of their child, they weep, they mourn. It's the biggest regret of their life. Like that. We're not going to do that. Because I know that for every woman like that, there's 10 women or men who are thrilled that they were involved in an abortion. Nobody wants to get anybody pregnant, and there's a lot of women who don't want to get pregnant. And when they do, let's face it, they vote with their wombs and they go to the abortion clinic. Every year, about 1.5 million of them, they go. Now, there's buyer's remorse for everything. There's people who buy a gas barbecue there down at Barbecues Galore, who after they buy it wish they had a charcoal briquette barbecue. I mean, there's buyer's remorse on everything. You could put all the people on the air who regret buying a Dodge over a Pontiac, or people who regret buying a Miller Genuine Draft instead of a Budweiser. You could do that. But we know the truth, and that is that many more people are satisfied with their purchases than dissatisfied. So if you put all the dissatisfied customers, you could create this false impression that everybody, or just about everybody who has an abortion, is miserable. And I know that's not true. Now, I know that the majority of abortion customers are satisfied customers. They are happy that they or their girlfriend, they or their wives, went out and had an abortion, or more than one. So if you're like me, and you can specifically pinpoint those moments in your life where somebody got knocked up and it would have ruined your life as you know it today. Today you have all kinds of things: wealth, success, good career. You're not paying out money every month in child support. You are someplace today you would not have been without an abortion. You are the person I want to talk to.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
You amuse me.
Well, thank you so much. I love when you're condescending like that. It turns me on.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. All right. Those of you who have had abortions and you're happy about it. Like me, I haven't had one, but thank God these chicks had them. Tell you what, it's Dan on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Tom?
I'm doing okay, Dan.
Oh, man, I've been with this, let me set the scenario. I've been with this girl for 4 years. Met her working at Pizza Hut. I was a driver. She was an insider. I ended up messing around with her and another girl. She told me to choose. I choose her. Had our first kid, basically. Well, I convinced her to go down, pulled the Hail Mary, and, yeah, got it done. Okay? Well, stupid me, playing around with her again, get her pregnant again. And this time I said, well, how am I going to get this? How am I going to work it? Listening to you, you gave me a little bit of advice, took her out on a nice dinner, told her I loved her, wanted to be with her, pulled the Tom Leykis 101, you know what I'm saying? Man, sure enough, she got it done. Well, 2 years, after that she was, upset. I didn't want to be with her. She moves off to Las Vegas, okay? She moved to Vegas. She's been living there for 2 years now. After I broke up with her, I started working, good jobs. I've been employed now for about a year and a half, whereas before when I was working for Pizza, I wasn't even doing nothing,
Right.
So, I couldn't be happier. I am now...
And by the way, what happened to her?
Well, she's actually doing pretty good, well off over there.
Had a baby?
No. Actually, Tom, we to be honest with you, I really do love the girl. She's a very good girl to me. She treats me nice. We have grown, instead of trying to grow as lovers, we've grown as friends. And we started off on the wrong foot, trying to, have sex all the time, and went and started, being friends now that she wasn't local. It wasn't all about the sex, and we've got to know each other better as a person. And, she's considering moving back here and moving in with me, and I'm only 23 years old, and so all this happened, 2 years ago, basically, and, it's been my third abortion. I've gotten 3 chicks. I had one girl before I was even out of high school get an abortion. It's good.
It's good, and life is better.
Yes, it is, and to be honest, Tom...
By the way, do you use condoms?
With her, no. With other girls...
Why didn't you?
I don't know. Felt so good.
Yeah, but did it feel good to have to worry that she might take you to the cleaners? Did that feel good?
At the time, yeah. It didn't feel good at all. It felt I was worried. My father kept making me listen to you, kept making me sweat it out, and she, like I said, I pulled the card. She's a great woman, honestly, Tom. I'm glad she's done it, and I'm, glad for myself that I convinced her to do it, because that's 2 kids now. I have one kid, one of my best friends, one of my friends just had a baby April 1st, and he's just turned 21. I got another one who's 22, another friend of mine.
But did you say you've been behind 2 or 3 abortions? Which is it?
3 abortions.
Well, who was the third one with?
The third one was a high school girlfriend.
And were you using birth control then?
Well, no. It was on and off then. So
the answer is no, because you have to use it every time.
Yeah.
So it took you 3 abortions to learn this?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. I always feel the way I look at it is,
it only took me 1, and even though I've been involved in 4 abortions, the last 3 I had a condom.
Yeah. Well, the way I look at it is that if a girl really wants to have a child with me, dude, she's got to be stupid. I'm not... Well, what am I going to provide for her? Is she going to try and get me for money? No, I'm going to be a good father if I do have a child.
Well, why would you want to take a chance on having a child?
Oh, it's part of life, I think.
No, it's not part of life. You see, you're not doing a kid any good unless you wait until you get married to somebody and stay with them for 5 years so you know if you're going to stay with them and then have a kid.
Yeah.
It is not part of life, like you're spinning the wheel of fortune, and one day if it lands on baby, you just start paying child support. Tag, you're it, you'll be my wife now. I mean, that's stupid.
That's why.
Why not control it?
Well, that's why now I feel I've grown up, and I feel that I will, before I do commit to having a child, I want to live with the girl before
But will you use condoms every single time?
Yeah.
No.
No,
you won't, will you?
I mean, to be honest, no, Tom.
Why not?
I don't know. I've used condoms. I use condoms with girls I have one-night stands with. With this girl, I don't.
But you don't even know if you're going to stay with her.
I feel at this point, I mean...
You're 23. You don't know jack.
You're right.
You don't know a thing.
I know a lot more than I...
But you don't know enough. No, you don't.
Yeah.
It's not fair to have a kid and not be sure that you're going to be there. And you're not.
Okay, is it a matter of being there for the child or a matter for being there for the girl? I mean, be honest.
Well,
because I want to be there for my child. Yeah, that's the way I look.
The child needs you more than the girl does.
The child means more than the girl?
Yeah. Because in Southern California, 2 out of 3 marriages ends in divorce. The kids are there forever.
Yeah.
Well, you shouldn't be creating children until you are in a relationship that you know for a fact is going to last.
Yeah. Well, that's where I feel I'm at now. But
why do you feel that way? What makes you think that? And why would you want to have a kid just any old time? Well, if it happens, it happens. Why? Why don't you want to control when that happens?
It's part of life, Tom.
No, it's not part of it's part of life if you make it part of life. You can control when it happens.
Yeah.
You know, I can't control if I get a brain tumor, or I can't control if I have I don't know prostate cancer or skin cancer. I can't control that. I can try to minimize the possibility. You can control when you have a baby.
Yes, I can.
Why wouldn't you do it?
I try to. I mean,
no, you don't try to.
Well.
I mean, if you're not using a condom 100% of the time, you're not trying to prevent it.
When I'm with this girl, I don't.
But you shouldn't be doing it with her at all. How long have you been with this girl?
Off and on 4 years.
Off and on?
Mm-hmm.
Off and on? That doesn't sound like a permanent relationship to me.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know how to explain it to you.
What if you knock her up and then you're off again? Then she's off on her own with your kid.
No, she wouldn't be off on her own. She'd be off on her own, and I'd be with the kid. Because I've got the...
What do you do for a living, Dan?
Currently, I work for a family business.
How much money do you make?
We talking a month? A month I make about 16. About 1,600.
1,600 a month.
24. You figure 20.
Do you know how much 1,600 a month is? Yeah, you're exactly right. Actually, it's not even 24,000 a year.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not. 1,600 a month is not even 20,000 a year.
No.
Do you know that puts you, if you have a child, below the poverty level?
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Well.
Do you know that?
But see, you got.
Do you know that? Yes or no? Do you know that?
Yes.
You do know that. So, don't you owe it to a child to be doing better than that?
Yeah.
So why in the world would you run the risk that might happen?
Well, that's my point, though, Tom. I don't currently have a child. I'm not...
You don't, but you're not using condoms.
Yes.
You might have one, and then you're going to be below the poverty level with that kid. Don't you care?
Certain part of me, I guess.
You don't give a rat's ass.
Well.
How are you going to feed a child, shelter a child, clothe a child, educate a child, inoculate a child, take the child to the doctor? How are you going to do that on so little money? $19,200 a year to be exact.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that?
You know, unlike a lot of other people that are out there, I have aspirations. I have plans.
But if you have a kid, you can throw those away, pal.
True.
Let me tell you about somebody who did this. My own father. Let me tell you a little story, pal. And I only learned this the hard way. My dad wanted to be a sportscaster or a sports writer when he grew up. One or the other. He couldn't decide which, but he knew he wanted to be one of them. So he got a job at 19 years old at the lowest level. He was a copy boy at a newspaper. And his plan was to work his way up the ladder. He was going to work his way up. Copy boys get paid crap. It's one of the worst jobs at the newspaper. Essentially, somebody writes a story, you take the story, you carry it to the editor. That's your job. You're a delivery boy, okay?
Yeah.
That's what he did. He was going to learn the newspaper business from the ground up. He's going to learn how to be a sports writer. So he worked, and he made crap money, and he kept doing that until he met my mom 3 years later. And he fell in love. He got married to my mom, and literally, within 4 months after getting married, poof, my mom was pregnant with me. Well, guess what happened? My dad wanted to be a sports writer, but he couldn't afford to support 3 people on his crappy salary, so he had to quit the newspaper and take a job sorting letters at the post office. Ultimately, he never became a sports writer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't care. Here's my point, pal. I don't care what aspirations you have. If you don't have enough money to support yourself and a child and a girlfriend or whatever aspirations you have are going right down the drain. Don't you have a father to explain this to you?
Well, yeah.
Is he an idiot?
I don't have a mother, and my father, that's one of the things.
Is your father an idiot?
No, he wanted me to actually call you to explain.
Okay, so in other words, your father agrees with me, doesn't he?
Yes, he does, very much.
Right. And do you understand now what I'm trying to tell you? But you don't care. You are prepared to flush your life down the toilet. You don't care.
I mean, I can't disagree. Some part of me does want to be a...
You want to flush, but the point is, you want to be a parent? You want to be a good parent? How about you first realize your aspirations? Make some goddamn money so you can feed that kid, so you can clothe that kid, so you can educate that kid. True. You are not man enough to have a child. You are not old enough or responsible enough. You have a lousy, crappy, low-paying job. What are your aspirations anyway?
I have my uncle owns a business that I work for, and my father and I are starting a real estate and / restoration company that we're working on.
And where are you getting capital for this?
My father pulling it out of his. My brother's a mechanic, and my father pulling money out of his house. Basically, refinancing and we're buying properties. And
right on the verge of the bubble bursting in the real estate business. That's good business. And what happens if that doesn't succeed? You are screwed, and your kid is screwed, too.
Yeah.
Why can't you wait and see how those aspirations turn out before you have a child? Why would you want to be a parent if you can't do it right?
What? But see, that's the thing. I'm not trying to say I'm trying. Look, I haven't. I mean, the girl lives in Vegas. Any girl?
I don't care. If you have sex with her once a month without a condom, you are running the risk that you're going to flush your goddamn life down the toilet.
You got a point. I can't disagree. I mean.
So why don't you start wearing a goddamn condom until you realize your dream, you idiot?
I don't know. Maybe I will next time.
No, maybe I will is not good enough.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to see her.
Your father doesn't want me letting you off the phone until you agree to wear a condom every time you have sex, until you realize your dream. That's why he had you call me.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I'll tell you one thing, Tom. Next time I do have sex with her, your words will be right in my head.
I don't want thy words in your head. I want rubber on your thing. That's what I want. That's where I want it.
Yeah, I starting to see the light. I mean, it makes sense, Tom. Like I said, my father told me before I can do anything with her, you know, that he'll approve, that I must call you and let you know, let the father know.
Yeah. Well, I'm your surrogate father, and I'm telling you that this game plan you have here stinks.
Yeah, but I can't say. I mean, the reason I called up.
You are selfish. Self-centered, and you're stupid. You're not mature. You're not good enough to be a father. You're not.
Well, I mean, that's how you feel, but
that's how it is. That's how it is, because you can't afford to support a child. You can't.
Yeah, you're right, financially.
And if you can't, it's not fair to play Russian roulette and run the risk that you will have a child. You can't afford it.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to have a child.
No, pal. I know you're not saying you're going to have a child, because who knows? You might and you might not. But you could say, I'm definitely not going to have one. You could do everything in your power to prevent it from happening, couldn't you?
I can.
But you haven't.
I mean, well,
right now, your whole life is like a roulette wheel. You might get the red and you might get the black. You don't even know.
yeah.
Why don't you control it like a man?
Well, I'm going to, start doing some different things, I guess. I mean, I can't...
Wear a rubber, you idiot.
I can't afford it. You're right, Tom.
So you start wearing condoms, effective immediately. I don't care if it's once a year.
All right.
Stop being a moron.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
I chose to stay a virgin for my own personal reasons.
Why'd you stop being a virgin then?
Because I needed it.
You needed it.
Hell yeah.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show from Los Angeles at 1-800-5800-TOM. We're talking to satisfied customers of an abortion. 1-800-5800-866. Jennifer on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
I'm 22. When I was 17 years old, I was dating a pathetic... Oh, my God, I can't believe I said I'm so sorry. A pathetic stoner. And I got pregnant by him, and at age 17, I had an abortion. I'm a model, and if I wouldn't have had that, oh, my God, I couldn't imagine. I'd have 4 butt cheeks right now walking around with a waddle.
God.
It was, yeah, I totally, honestly, going through all that and everything, I mean, I'm 22, I don't want kids. I never wanted kids, and people say you're going to change your mind, but honestly, I grew up with the 6 brothers in my family, and, dude, I can do without, honestly.
Yeah, well, I understand. So life's a lot better than it would have been.
Oh, it's beautiful. I'm 22, driving a Mercedes, and I love life. I mean, I'm not with that loser right after that.
Yeah.
Actually, I ended up dumping him, so I guess you could say we didn't have egg McMuffins or anything. More like Del Taco, 59 cents.
You got him a double stuffed burrito? Is that what you did?
Yes, I did. And I kicked him to the curb.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Tom.
Appreciate the call. Jesse on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello there.
Hello there.
I am a satisfied and happy customer of my abortion from 2 years ago.
Do tell.
Yeah, well, basically, we had been together for a while. Pill didn't work that day, apparently. And as soon as it happened, I knew what I was going to do. He didn't really have a choice in the matter, but he was happy with my decision, and we are where we are today because of it.
So you're saying your relationship survived because you had an abortion?
Oh, yeah, and it was great because, I mean, he totally supported everything I did. He stayed with me. He would have stayed with me either way, but he was happy what I did.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I got to go back to school. Now I get to go to law school. I wouldn't have been able to do that with a kid.
That's right. That's
I mean,
exactly
we both make decent money. We would have had lots of money to support a kid, but we didn't want one. Like, so...
You sound blissfully happy.
Oh yeah, I'm a very happy customer, and I mean I'm in Canada, so it's a lot easier up here, and there's not as many, psychotic groups out there who are trying to get us and trying to make us stop doing it. But I mean, it's a lot easier up here than it is down there, and I feel sorry for the girls who have to go through what they do down there to get an abortion. But I'm proud.
The psychotic groups in Canada make you listen to Canadian content on the radio.
Pardon?
The psychotic groups in Canada make you listen to Canadian content on the radio.
Yes, they do. I think it's like 30%, and it's all crap. But yeah, our lives are amazing now, and we know that if we ever decide to have children, that's fine, but not now.
Good for you. Thank you, Jesse.
Oh, yeah. You're welcome.
I appreciate the call. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. This is Michelle on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hi, yeah, I'm calling because I had an abortion about 11 years ago, and I think it was the best decision I ever made. I'm so completely glad I did it, and I hope that it stays legal forever. It should be legal in every country. You know, it's something that if a woman wants to do, they're going to do it whether it's legal or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's horrible that people out there try and brainwash people into thinking that they have to do it. It not only ruins the woman's life and, I guess, the father, and it ruins the child's life. Because, I mean, what kind of life are you going to have if your parents don't want you or can't afford to have you, or if your parents took drugs while they were pregnant, or if they're disabled? I mean, I just don't see why it should be, it should even be controversial. I don't see anything wrong with it. I had one, and I've taken 3 other girls to the clinic, and I think that those people that go to the clinics that try and make people feel guilty for it, I think they're very rude. I think that that's horrible, that they try, you know, I mean, it's bad enough you find out that you're pregnant when you don't want to be, you know, and you have to go through, you know, all the hormones and everything afterwards, and I'm just so glad I had one, and I'll always be glad that I had one. And actually, my daughter goes to a Catholic school, which is funny, but I'll tell her when she's at the right age, I'll let her know that, you know, you use protection. If the protection doesn't work, that's where we're going, because I don't want her life ruined. I want to make sure that, you know, she can go to college and do what she wants. You know, I can't, there's girls out there that are 15 years old and getting pregnant, and they keep it, which I think is the stupidest thing on earth. You know, go get your education and do what you want to do with your life.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, and the other day I heard what you were saying about the Pope, and I was like, yes, I'm so glad you said all of those things. Everything you said was true, and I even mentioned it to my husband and about the, you know, why are people out there having unprotected sex when there's AIDS is out there? I think that's ridiculous.
Well, I agree with you on that.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
What do you get for your girlfriend? Tell me about it.
Well, she's 30, single mother with a kid, and I work with her.
You get her a new boyfriend. Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. We're talking to satisfied customers of abortion. This is Nancy. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Great.
Very good. My honest opinion on abortion, I think that should be up to the woman.
You think what? Your phone cut out.
My honest opinion on abortion should be up to the woman.
It is up to the woman.
Of course, why? Because
that phone connection is terrible. Trevor on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
What's up, Dad?
How much, son?
Hey, I'm 23, just got out of college, got a good job, making money, you know. Ended up getting with this girl about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Wrapped up, did the right thing, you know. About a week ago, she calls me and says, uh-oh, I think I'm pregnant. Boom, my life comes, whew. I'm like, stopped in my tracks.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
I do. It's happened to me before, so what happened?
So basically she says, you know, I'm going to the doctor one more time on Friday. So I had 36 hours to think about this, probably the biggest scare of my life. And I believe, you know, I do everything right every time. No way, it can't be happening, but ended up being not pregnant, but probably the biggest scare I've ever had. And I talked to her about it later, and she ended up saying she would have got an abortion. But I just want to tell all the guys out there, strap up or there goes your life, you know?
You're not kidding about that.
Take me out tribal style.
African tribal style. Here you go, Trevor. Our email address is my name. It's tom@blowmeuptom.com. Tom at blowmeuptom.com. Call our comment line 24 hours a day. The number is area code 310-842-9592.
The Tom Leykis Show.